Hey y'all, Iric Sky here, and I hope y'all like the new video and audio quality. If everything looks good, let me know. My face is kind of greasy, and I think that's showing up on the camera, but we got a lot of good stuff to talk about today. Today is May the 13th of the year that we will hopefully forget, but a drone that will hopefully make the history books. You know, let's just say that. Mavic Air 2. It may be arriving tonight. So I have got, I'm in the zone. I'm ready for Mavic Air 2, ready to take it out of the box. Now, obviously, being cautious when I take it out of the box because of the uncertain times that we're in right now. Obviously, I will mask up, and then I will thoroughly scrub the outer box, and then cut away any sort of plastic wrap that's hopefully present on the outer box, and then just cross my fingers and hope that stuff on the inside of the box doesn't have anything on it, because I'm not taking any chances. I don't want to get sick and be unable to thoroughly unbox, thoroughly review, and just have a lot of fun with the Mavic Air 2. We got people tuning in here. I'm just going to share my merchandise here if you're looking for Iric Sky's Adventure Channel shirts. And I've got some new Epic Drone Show shirts on the way, and excited to post a link to those as soon as those are available. Yeah, I just want to get us geared up, because this week is going to be a very exciting week. Even if maybe you haven't joined the drone hobby yet, and maybe the Mavic Air 2 is going to be your first drone, and that's perfectly acceptable, because this drone on paper, the Mavic Air 2, is definitely not a, when we dealt with Mavic Air 1 was a great drone, very small, very lightweight, easy to transport, did 4K video. But the Mavic Air 2 is taking it to the next level. I mean, the specs, the battery life, the range exceeds that of the top tier drone right now, which is the Mavic 2 Pro. So it's gotten me. I mean, hopefully that thing's going to arrive at the in the butler will pick it up and bring it to me. Obviously with gloves on, because we got to be safe. Any sort of incoming delivery should be safe, and should scrub that stuff down, make sure there's nothing on it. But if it arrives this evening, like I said, my butler will bring it to me, and I will be doing if it arrives this evening, I'll be doing a live unboxing. I mean, how cool would that be? Mavic Air 2 live unboxing. So yeah, we're in for some very exciting times throughout the next few days, and something I'm most excited about is the opportunity to respond to y'all's questions. Several of y'all have already posted questions that you have in regards to the Mavic Air 2. Things that you're already aware of that you want me to field test as soon as I receive my Mavic Air 2. And one of those big ones on the list is that I got through one of my social networks, is the low light performance of still photos. Historically, I haven't really dealt with still photos for my drones. How fast is the Mavic Air 2? Great question. And again, this will be field tested as well. Let me see what the specs for the Mavic Air 2 are on paper. And again, this on paper stuff's fine and dandy and fun, but it's just something that gets you geared up and feeling excited about the real thing, the real drone, when it's in my paws and I've got it out in the field. The actual drone, nothing pre-release, the actual drone that I bought, that I've taken out in the field. So, no unrealistic expectations, no over editing of video, you know the format if you've watched my drone reviews. So let's see here, Mavic Air 2. And by the way, everyone, and I'm going to link this, and it goes without saying, the website is epicdroneshow.com, and I just posted that in the comments, and that's where where you can find if you're looking to order the Mavic Air 2, any of the, the two varieties that are currently available, the accessories or other drones, you can find it all there. Speed question, Mavic Air 2 speed question. So what do we have here on paper? Again, and I cautiously say on paper because I have not yet field tested the Mavic Air 2. So, I'm basing this off of what's on paper, but, hopefully that thing comes, hopefully that Mavic Air 2 arrives this evening and my butler brings it up here. And, and we get to do a live on-air unboxing of the Mavic Air 2 tonight. Speed on paper for the Mavic Air 2. It says, let's see, what does it say here? Well, satellite systems, that's interesting. It's got GPS and GLONASS. So just like the previous drone with GPS and GLONASS, it's got the same thing there. The speed, let's see what we got here. Speed. I'm gonna find it off the top of my head. I'm thinking it may be around 41 miles per hour, and I'm thinking it may be just a few miles per hour slower than the Mavic 2. But again, not an issue for me because, I'm flying slow and smooth. Let's see, speed. Well, I've got a max horizontal flight speed. In sport mode is 19 meters per second. And then in N mode is 12 meters per second. And then let's see what we got here. Rattle off these specs. Okay, here we go. Let's see, Mavic. Okay, here we go. Aha. Okay, so here's the answer. Actually, it's not the answer. I thought it was going to be, but I don't have speed on this. I had the speed for the Mavic Air 2, but that's not really what I'm looking for. I'm trying to find miles per hour. Let's see. We will find that. Let's see. Okay, it is, apparently it's 42 miles per hour or 68 kilometers per hour. And again, on paper. I have not field tested my Mavic Air 2 yet, so I cautiously say that. I'm just rattling off some specs that I found online. So, manual says, Russell says, the manual says for the manual, do you actually have a manual in your paws? Do you already have the Mavic Air 2? If so, man, that's awesome. You beat me if you do. Like I said, I'm waiting on my butler to bring the Mavic Air 2 to me. It's again, these uncertain pandemic times, it's hard to tell, but it may arrive this evening. So if it does, like I said earlier, I'm going to scrub it down and unbox that thing live on air. So that's going to be awesome. Let's see here. Yeah, so on page 6, very cool. Straight from the manual. Russell looked up in the manual. That's awesome. I appreciate that. Let's see. Lower than the recommended bit rate. We recommend you use a stream bit rate of 2500 kbps. So that begs the question, how is the video quality? How is the audio quality for this show? Because I've adjusted some settings in the studio. Let's see. Here we go. Yeah, I'm gonna bump that up. Let's see. It's 720p, and actually, yeah, 720p 30. Yeah, I'm gonna bump it up just a tad here. So, okay, this video quality should be even better. Marlon says raw. You're talking about raw video or the? I'm shooting actually this live stream, and it's quite interesting. This is the first live stream I've used. I'm using an A7R4 with a Sony G Master lens, and then I've got this connected to my laptop using this box, and this is my first test. I want to see if it overheats. Is the audio in sync? Do my lips look out of sync with the audio, or does that seem to be synced up? That's that's a challenge I've had with. Marvin says I'm on a smartphone. Very cool, man. Yeah. Hybrid Life says /Irix guy. You got it, man. Dude, thanks again yesterday for was it yesterday or the day before? I lose track of days in quarantine. The super chat, that was incredible, man. Speaking of that, Hybrid Life super chatted the other day, and if y'all want to super chat, you can choose to do so. There's a little super chat button. You can super chat, you can super sticker. It's just a way to help. Just think of it as a way to tip your host, for these live streams and all the other content. Hybrid Life says synced, very cool. And then Russell posted a link to the manual, awesome. Yeah, so the audio is actually coming from, so I've got this mic'd in directly to the Sony Alpha camera, and it's going through HDMI, and it's going to my MacBook Pro. So unless I encounter something catastrophic with this, I'm going to stick with this setup because it's a lot easier to set up. Now I'm not dealing with the webcam I used was good, but a webcam's never as good as a mirrorless 4K camera. Toby says, "Hi mate, hope you're doing well. Just bought a Spark. Got any good tips for any tricks for it?" Well, I mean, you can do with a Spark like any other drone. You can go out and fly and have fun and film some videos, snap some photos, and it's just really a matter of personal preference. I mean, my thing with drones is that I've always enjoyed the video aspect of the drone. Taking it out, filming stuff, trying to, obviously fly safely and responsibly, but going into challenging flying conditions and taking it up and trying to capture some videos that that other people would be unwilling to do, and that's one of the most exciting things the most exciting reward that I receive from flying drones is capturing the videos and obviously posting them here on youtube.com/Irix guy and on epicdroneshow.com. So filming drone videos. Oh, Hybrid Life, boom, keep at it. Excited to see you at 1 million subs one day. Dude, mad support. Y'all see that super chat from Hybrid Life? That deserves a celebration. Check this out. You won't know what's coming. This is going to blow y'all's mind. Oh, I've still got my audio on, so y'all can probably still hear me. But I'm stepping over here in the studio. Anytime I get a super chat, I've got to celebrate. So when you hear this sound, you're going to know that means somebody super chatted. So let me see if I can get this properly aligned here. So this is the sign that there's been a super chat. Hold on. Super chat. So anytime that someone super chats, I will break out the didgeridoo and make crazy sounds with the didge, dude. So there we go. Super chat. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome super chat. So Yeah, man, million subs. That's the goal. I think is it a million? I know when I hit 100,000 subscribers, unless YouTube axes it, which I hope they don't, because it's a great motivational tool. Once I hit 100,000 subscribers, should be able to get a silver play button, which is a trophy, and I'll hang it in the studio, and to be the focal point when you enter the Irish Guys Adventure Channel studio. So appreciate it, man. That is epic. Yeah, other things that Toby you might want to do with drones is you can if you're into photography, you can get some really interesting perspectives using a drone. Obviously there aren't tripods that are not that I'm aware of, tripods that are a few 100 feet tall. So with a drone, if you're in a safe and responsible location, you can potentially take that sucker up a few 100 feet and snap some photos that look like they were taken from a really tall tripod. So that's another thing you can do with a drone. You can if you're not married or whatever, you can go out and impress the ladies. Go down to the beach and pull your drone out and fly it and see what they say. That's another thing you can do with drones. You can also you can capture curiosity, and again, sometimes the curiosity isn't always welcome. There was a situation, and I think I may have shared this with y'all during another live show, but I'll share it again, where I was out in the field, safe and responsible location, everything, following all the rules, just having a good time with my drone in a safe and responsible location. And this guy came out, and he started cursing me. And he's like, "Hey, man," he's like, "Hey, why are you in my field? And, why are you driving in the field?" It's like, well, I got this drone, I'm just out here having a good time, and it follows objects, and, what better thing to follow than a truck? So I was driving my truck through this field. It was his field. And actually I said, "Hey," I said, I'm not here to cause trouble, but this is your field? And he said, "No," he said, "actually, it's not." And I said, "You're right, it's not. It's my field too." I said, "It's owned by the, it's a public field, so we can all enjoy this field." So we, oh cool, I got some comments coming. Toby and Marlon, I'll get right to y'all. But yeah, this field was just, and he walked off fuming, mad, and went to his little house or whatever, and I knew something was going to be up. And then sure enough, a few minutes later, the policia roll up, and they come around, and there was this guy with a golf club at the other end of the field, just knocking some golf balls around. And they approached him, and I noticed he moved his vehicle out of the field to the side of the street. And then the cop came up to me, "Policia." He was nice. He just said, "Hey, man, what are you doing?" I said, "I was flying my drone," just having a good time. And he was cool with it. And, he said, "Well, can I fly it?" "Yeah, sure. Why not? Check it out." He said, "But I do want to tell you," he said, "this field," he said, we don't want people to park in the field, mess up the field, since it is a city-owned thing." And I said, "Hey, that's fair enough." I said, just so you know, I was driving slowly out here and, just having the drone chase my truck around." He was cool with it. But yeah, I mean, you can attract, to better answer your question, Toby, you can attract unwanted attention like that too. I mean, there's all sorts of things you can attract with the drone. Toby says, "Thanks for that. I don't really know much about it, to be honest, and always worried about losing connection, etc. Taking it up high just worries me, and I think it won't get down in time if battery is low." I will caution you, with the Spark, and the Spark's a great drone, don't take this the wrong way, but with the Spark, one of the things that sets it aside from many of the other drones is the battery life. And let me post this video. This was my first flight with the Spark, and I almost lost it because of the lower battery life. I was used to some of the Phantoms and the other drones I was flying at the time, and didn't expect, with those, at least when there's a low battery, there tends to be a reasonable amount of time to safely land and have to make another landing attempt if you've got moderate wind or you're out on the water or whatever. But this was a Spark experience I had, and I almost lost it in the middle of a huge lake. And let me see. Here we go. Dji Spark. I'm going to link you the video in the comments. Let's see. Spark, Spark, Spark. I've got it. Let's see. Oh, yeah, here it is. So this was, keep in mind, this was my first time flying the Spark outside. And for this particular situation, I decided, you know, DJI's got a really good reputation. I trust their products. And I'm going to take this out for the first flight and do something fun. So there's a video I just linked. That was my first flight with the DJI Spark. And you'll see that I launched it off the front of my boat in the middle of a lake. Water was pretty calm, but I mean, even subtle waves can rock your vessel around and make landing more challenging. So you'll see within that video that, you know, and I, in these drone videos, you know, I don't want to put on an act or any sort of show or anything like that. You know, I'm just showing you how it is. But at about the 10-minute and 4-second or so mark, you're going to see that I'm really getting nervous because this thing is, because the boat's rocking and you can see the boat rocking. This drone is my first time flying the Spark. The battery was low, and it doesn't provide that, you know, that extra battery life that gives you the warm and fuzzies like some of the other drones do. So, you know, always, you know, my recommendation with the Spark would be to, you know, if you feel like it's getting low, don't trust that percentage, because I will tell you that percentage on the Spark, once you get an alarm and, you know, whatever your low battery threshold set at, once you get that, I can say I'm pretty confident that the amount of minutes that you may, or seconds that you may have before the battery completely depletes itself can come quickly. So, you know, be aware of that. And you can see, you'll see within my video, if you check that out, that, you know, that was a hairy experience. I mean, I never want to lose a drone. I mean, I'll take them out and, you know, and enjoy challenging flights. But, you know, that was my first, that's the only drone where my first field test, I launched it out of my boat. So, you know, that was, from my perspective, that was probably poor judgment. And it was just because I had developed such a high degree of confidence with DJI drones that I'm just like, hey, you know, new drone, I'm going to just launch it off the front of the boat. But yeah, I mean, it was still fun, but it was nerve-wracking to say the least. Yep, I was on my boat, the Yarcodius. One of my boats. Marlon says, do you still have the Hasselblad drone? Yep, Mavic 2 Pro with 1-inch sensor, and it's, you know, that's the drone, as far as competition is concerned, that's the drone that I'm going to be most curious about. You know, how can the Mavic 2 Pro hang with the, or how can the Mavic Air 2 hang with the Mavic 2 Pro? And, you know, just because the Mavic 2 Pro has a 1-inch sensor doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be the champion. And that's why I'm so excited. And again, I'm nervously refreshing my tracking information for my drone. I'm hoping, let's see here. Like I said, my butler will bring my drone to me if it arrives this evening. So that'll be super cool. Let me see if it's almost here. See if it is almost here. Nope, not yet. But if it does arrive, yeah, it's gonna be cool. Man, super chat, that just puts a smile on my face. These are that is super cool. It's cool that, you know, YouTube had a feature that, and I'm trying to remember the name of the feature a while back. It wasn't super chat, but it was kind of like a tip jar kind of thing, but it didn't really work well. Super chat's great because all you do is just click and you can super chat or super sticker. Toby says, I have a big field outside my house that I own, at the bottom is a big lake. But when I get out like 200 meters, it almost loses signal. But I just always worry, like you said, I won't get it back. You know, and that's always a realistic possibility that, you know, in what I've said from day one. And, you know, the scariest moment I ever had with drones was when I first bought my first drone, and that was the Phantom, DJI Phantom 1. And I bought that after the Phantom 2 had been out for a while. I was actually, you know, a somewhat late adopter of drones. And the reason being is that I had the fear, like you're saying, I was just afraid, you know, this would just be too easy for the wind to catch it, or for the battery to mess up, or to, you know, there'd be some sort of electronic interference and I lose my drone. And then, you know, after some experience, you know, several years or several weeks of experience, you know, my comfort level with the drones was radically enhanced. And, you know, at that point in time, I started doing these more exciting flights, like off of boats and going through the treetop, you know, the canopy of the trees, and, you know, meandering around all the branches. So there's a lot of fun stuff you can do with drones. But again, if you decide to assume that risk, you know, you may get your drone stuck in a tree. You may lose your drone. But, you know, everything I do, the only risk I have is losing and/or damaging and/or losing my drone. So I don't, you know, I'm never in a situation where anyone or anything would be at risk other than the drone itself. But it just makes it a lot of fun. Toby says, if it did get really low, would the drone just drop out of the sky and fall to the floor? As I reckon most of the time, I'll take it up and then just take photos, videos, and bring it back. I mean, and again, you know, check your settings within your DJI app. First of all, I've never had any of my drones fall out of the sky. I mean, if there's some sort of technical malfunction, you know, it's always a possibility. If your battery gets seriously low, you know, check your return to home procedures and see how that's set up, because, you know, there's certain procedures that you may have set up within your DJI app that may dictate how the drone behaves if the battery becomes low. So, you know, check that out. You know, my safest thing is this. I look at my battery percentage, and it varies among drones. But I will say, out of all the drones I've flown, if that's approaching the low battery warning, I get that sucker down quickly. Talking about the Spark, just because it doesn't have a lot of breathing room as far as battery is concerned. So, you know, once it gets low, it's not just saying, oh, you know, we're just letting you know it's low, you know, you might want to land. It's saying, take that thing down. That's what it's saying. So, you know, that's, you know, most, in all my drones, even my big drones, well, I'm saying big, you know, longer battery life, Mavic 2 Pro, even with that, you know, I don't get close to the low battery life. And if I do, it's very close to me. It's very low altitude. So, you know, if I'm risking it so close and so low, yeah, if the battery depletes itself and it's a foot off the ground, sure, it wouldn't be a graceful landing, but it would fall, you know, basically a foot, which may or may not damage it. So, you know, I'm careful with this stuff, but I don't let the concern. Yeah, Philippe, tomorrow is a big day. It's a huge day. And actually, like I was saying, that Mavic Air 2, you know, it may be arriving this evening. And if it does, I'm going to unbox that sucker during this live show. If not, I'm going to get it, you know, in the morning. Hybrid Life says, how realistic or how near term do you see drones delivering mail ubiquitously around America? Well, that's a great question. I think there's several factors recently that may have helped to accelerate that. One of those things being the pandemic, because, you know, we've seen, you know, as a world and, you know, and as a country as well, you know, you're talking about America, you know, we've seen that there's value in social distancing. There's value in contactless delivery, you know, and what better way to deliver something without contact than having a drone descend, leave the package, and leave. You know, talk about contact-free delivery. You know, a drone's perfect for that. So I think, you know, the pandemic may accelerate whatever's needed to legalize drones for delivery. Because, right now, and again, things are always subject to change. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a politician. But, right now, most places, transporting anything by way of a drone is probably illegal. Obviously, in most places right now, there's often a visual line of sight requirement, meaning that the remote pilot in command, the person flying the drone, has to maintain constant visual line of sight with the drone. So let's say you've got a distribution center and it's 5 miles from the customer that you're delivering to. You wouldn't legally, in most situations, you wouldn't be legally able to deliver those products because you wouldn't be able to maintain visual line of sight with that drone the entire 5 miles, because you would be at the distribution center, the drone's going 5 miles away, just in this fictitious example. So, I do think that, again, because of the current situation, I do think that we will see the legalization of drone delivery become expedited. And, anything that governments can tax, oh man, they are going to go after it. And what more hip and contact-free type delivery service than a drone? I mean, that just makes sense. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's probably going to come soon. Now, my fear is that for the hobbyist side of the fence, that it doesn't gimp our abilities to enjoy drones and model aircraft. Again, there's a lot of uncertainties. Toby says, so you're saying it just won't fall, but it's very low, it just started landing and it was over my field, it would just land itself and hope it's somewhere safe. And I would never assume, man. Every time, and from my first drone videos, I've always said, I completely expect to lose this drone. Anytime I turn that thing on, I completely expect to lose that drone. And that's the mentality I've always had with drones, and it's not because I don't trust the technology, but it's because, I want to be safe, and I want to make sure that, number one, that I'm flying in a safe place where it couldn't damage anything, and then number two, that if it does crash or it does fly away, that, I was prepared to lose that. So, it's hard to develop that mentality because there's few other hobbies like drones where you've got something that's extremely technologically advanced, goes up in the sky, and you're kind of, hoping that it returns. Because, I mean, these things are expensive, man. Drones are not cheap. They are not cheap. And again, as a reminder for everyone, if you're looking for drones, drone accessories, head on over to epicdroneshow.com and click Buy a Drone. You can find all the drones there, including the Mavic Air 2, which I'm waiting for my Mavic Air 2 to arrive hopefully any minute now, and I'm keeping my ears out. I got my surveillance. I've got everything. Just seeing where that drone is. Is it going to get here tonight or not? Man, I tell you what, we get our super chat. I'll blow on this this didgeridoo to celebrate the super chats. I already got. Man, we're up to $20 in super chats. That's awesome. That'll pay for some of these upgrades I'm working on, and I hope the audio is good and the video is good, because this little thing, and I'll be doing a review on it. I don't want to spoil the surprise, but this little camera to MacBook Pro thing is really cool. Born 100 years too late, Irix guy. Welcome aboard, man. Welcome aboard. Welcome back. Let's see. Hybrid Life says, also liabilities of things falling in the air and hurting the public, or a piece of the drone falling off in transit, or the package it is delivering. I think this is one of the issues with flying cars. Very, very true. Very true. And the flying car, take it to the next level because you've probably got a human being in there. So at least with the delivery drones, I say they probably won't have humans in them, but what if they're really big drones and they have people inside the drone preparing all the what if they had, think about this, what if they developed, like, let's just call it the mothership drone. It's like the big drone, and like Amazon or whomever, they put one over every city. So they had this huge drone. It was like just floating, flying up in the sky. It had solar panels on it, so it could just stay there forever. And it's basically a distribution center in the air. So they put this huge drone in the sky, and maybe there's workers inside of that drone. And then all the packages, smaller drones take packages from that huge drone and deliver them. How cool would that be? I mean, anything's possible, man. If overregulation doesn't become an issue, anything is possible. Yeah, I know, man. Born 100 years too late. I know you have been, man. Whoa, almost fell backwards there. So yeah, it's going to be interesting, this drone industry. I mean, taking it beyond the hobbyist, this drone industry is going to be, well, I mean, it is fascinating. There's no other way to say it. I mean, it's a fascinating industry. Let's see here. Yep, so if it doesn't arrive tonight, I won't be doing the live on air unboxing. But I'm getting to this, man. I'm not trust me, I'm not sitting here wasting time. I'm ready for this Mavic Air 2 to be here. Got more people tuning in here. I tell you, it's nice having this wireless mic set up, because now I don't have you probably know, I don't know if you noticed from the last live show, but the little microphone that was sticking out over my face, that's gone. Which, that's cool, if you're a podcaster or whatever. And this is an awesome microphone, but I think just having this clipped to my shirt's better. If I wanted to look more professional, what I could do is stick a lavalier microphone onto this, and then you wouldn't even see it. So that would be kind of, but I mean, I don't care. I mean, this channel is very casual, so we'll just keep it how it is here. Man, Mavic Air 2, Mavic Air 2, Mavic Air 2. I wish it was here. I was, and the bad part is, and I know that's crazy complaining about a drone not delivering yet during the pandemic, but I want that drone. But I know why it's taking longer, because I mean, there's obviously a lot more critical things that are being delivered than a drone that everybody's biting at the bit to see field tested. So Hybrid says, but downfall is that you have a large device. Yeah, that is. But see, this mic that I've got on my chest right here, it's got a clip. So what I can do with the lavalier, I can clip this to my belt, and it becomes the wireless transmitter. And then the lavalier mic would go up my shirt, so you wouldn't see it. You would just see, that little bitty lapel mic, like your news anchors and all that have. Ernest says, just got a Magic Mini and love it. Yeah, man, Mavic Mini is incredible. To be so small and to be so lightweight, and the video quality, the video stability is great. And that 2.7K video, man, up converting that to 4K, it's very, very usable footage. And the battery life, being able to USB recharge it, I mean, that is Mavic Mini is a solid drone. I mean, DJI did a really good job designing that. And I will say I'm bummed that, the one thing, and I understand, and I'm not huge or super knowledgeable when it comes to, electronics and that sort of thing, but one of the things with the Mavic Air 2 that I would have liked to have seen is USB rechargeable capability, like you get with the Mavic Mini. But I think it has to do with the battery size, something along those lines that may make USB recharging not an option. But that's just so convenient, man. Mavic Mini, taking it out, especially if you're backpacking, you got a battery bank, take one battery, recharge that battery with your battery bank, recharge your battery bank's battery with a solar panel, a portable folding solar panel, and boom, you're good to go off the drone grid, off of the grid, off-the-grid drone adventures. There you go. Because you can recharge your drone if you're using Mavic Mini. Born 100 years too late says, I have the same setup for how-to videos, just haven't made any how-to videos. How-to videos are hot, man. You know, if there's one category that there's several categories that I encourage YouTube content creators to consider. How-to is at the top of the list. How-to videos, travel videos, business videos. And that might blow your mind. Business videos are hot. So, you know, if you're looking for something, and you know, if you're business savvy and want to share business tips, business videos are a hot. Yeah, no doubt, man. This actually has a lot of good stuff in it. It's got I made it with so I've got 100% pomegranate juice in it. And then I've got, let's see, pomegranate juice, 100% mango juice, 100% pineapple juice, a lot of ice, and dark rum. Really good dark rum. Well, not top tier dark rum, but a good level of dark rum from St. Croix. Hybrid says, I don't know if you saw my comment, although off topic. Since you love spicy foods, you should try it. Yeah, I did. And actually, he says you should try the Korean spicy 2X noodles and do a video of you eating them and your honest, pure reaction. So I had a question. Actually, I shot you a message in response to that. Let me make sure. I'm looking right now. Let me find these Korean noodles, because I'm going to do this. That is an awesome suggestion. Let's see. Korean spicy 2X noodles. Korean spicy 2X. Aha. So I've got some that I found here, and they're called Samyang 2X Spicy Hot Chicken Flavor Ramen. Is that them? Samyang. Think. Let me link this over, and y'all can tell me if this is. Because if this is them, man, I'm going to order some and burn my face off eating these noodles. I think that's a good idea. Andrea, welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Are those the noodles, the type of noodles you're talking about? He said it's a black packaging. Okay, this packaging is red, but it does say 2X spicy on the front. And then I guess it's Korean. I can't read what it says. Let me see if I can find some that are in the, black pack. Here we go. Then I found these. These are called Bulldog. No, they're called Samyang Ramen Spicy Chicken Roasted Noodles, 5 pieces. Fire noodles. Let's see. Those are more expensive. Let me see. Oh, the ones I linked are it. Oh, man. We're in business. Let me, I'm going to go back to that link. Yeah, that ought to be a good ROI, return on investment. It's a little bit over 12 bucks. Aha. Pack of 5. Samyang. Samyang. Get me some Samyangs coming here. Let's see. I think they make camera lenses too. Maybe that's a different Samyang. I'm going to try these 2X Samyang noodles, and that'll be a fun video, man. I appreciate the suggestion there. Now they even have a 3X. Andrea says, yes, Korean noodles. And then use the funding I gave you. No doubt, man. 2 packs at once. I'm gonna go at it kind of cautiously. See, today I did some just a bowl of, or not a bowl, just a can of some cheap store brand chicken gumbo. I was eating on the cheap. But what I did, I put I had ghost pepper, boot jalakia sauce, and I put about 4 or 5 drops in that can of gumbo, man. My face is still, I mean, my mouth is still a little bit on fire. Yeah, I mean, it's spicy stuff, man. No joke. No joke at all. No joke. On fire. Spicy. Spicy, spicy, spicy. So, let's see. Philippe says, will we see an update to the Mavic 2 Pro to 4K 60 frames per second? That's a great question. You know, sometimes frames per second of cameras can be achieved by way of a firmware update. But I'm not really sure. Oh, hybrid. I'll put all the sauce in it, no doubt. Korean 2X spicy noodles. I'm not going to leave any sauce. Yeah, I don't know. You know, it almost makes me think probably what DJI is going to do. You get in the mind of marketers here. And so you're releasing a new drone that does 4K 60. Yet your heavy hitting drone, the best drone on the market today, again, having not tested my Mavic Air 2 yet, is the Mavic 2 Pro. So it would seem to make sense that even if they could, let's say they could release a firmware update to upgrade it to 4K 60, it would seem they probably won't. And the reason I say that, and again, I'm just speculating here, but I don't think they would, because that's going to be something from a buyer's perspective, like, well, I could get the Mavic 2 Pro, it's more expensive, but hey, it only does 4K 30, or hey, I could spend less and get the Mavic Air 2, doesn't have a 1-inch sensor, but it does 4K 60. That would position, in my mind, DJI to bring out the Mavic 3, which, again, we've speculated, you know, the end of this year, or maybe the, or maybe the beginning of next year. Whoa, man, for the noodles. Order soon, man. I'm going to expedite that order, man. Let me expedite. Let me expedite that order now. Samyang! Samyang! Samyang spicy noodles. Samyang 2X spicy hot chicken flavor ramen. 4.9 ounces. Samyang. Samyang is on the way. Boom. There comes my Samyang. We are going to... Okay, boom, boom, boom. Samyang. Samyang is on the way. So that's going to be interesting, man. I tell you, that out of, you know, I get interesting suggestions. Man, we got these super chats. You know what that means? Yeah, I was about to do it and you just typed it. Got to hear the horn. Anytime you super chat or super sticker, I will pull this horn out and I'll give it a good walkabout. Hold on. Let's try that again. I'm going to try to do a proper horn. Hold on. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I'm going to make that Australian sound. Hold on. Here we go. There we go. The horn. The Dji, dude. So anytime there's a super chat, you will know because you will hear the horn sound. Philippe says, do you know how to play this instrument in your hands? I do not. No, I don't. But with enough super chats, I bet I'll learn. Yep, it is from Australia. Yeah, it's the if you watch those, what was it, Crocodile Dundee and those shows, man, I wish they'd come out with another Crocodile Dundee. That was a cool show. Back in the early 80s, that was like one of the best shows, man. Oh, yeah. We are rolling it in here tonight. Well, we're rolling in the excitement, but we're not rolling in the drone yet. Where is the Mavic Air 2? We need to know where the Mavic Air 2 is. But one thing's for sure, it's going to be here. It is going to be here very soon. Yep. So we got, let's see, what else we got going on? So what questions y'all have? I mean, we've got, Hybrid says, I bet my Tesla and Fire Noodle suggestions might be your highest viewed vids 10 years from now. That'd be, hey man, that would be awesome, man. 10 years from now, sitting at, let's say 3 million subscribers, sitting on a, sitting on a beach somewhere with a futuristic laptop, filming more YouTube videos, and then having a, I think it'd be cool. Like I said, I will not. What did I say? I wouldn't get a Tesla unless I had, was it 1 million subscribers? Was that the metric I said the other day? Because yeah, I mean, those are great suggestions because people are curious about all of these things, and yeah, the Fire Noodles, man. That I tell you, man, that is a that suggestion you had about the Fire Noodles is something that is very unique. I mean, I never would have thought about that. So that is, I never knew Fire Noodles existed. I'm aware of spicy stuff, but not Fire Noodles, man. So, oh, I said 300. So if I hit 300,000 subscribers, then I may get a Tesla. Like I was saying though, during the walk show the other day where I was walking around with a smartphone, just a very casual live broadcast. My thing about a Tesla is that I'm just not interested, man. One of my real world friends had came up with one, and he had it was the 3 model, fully loaded with the range package and all that. The technology on the inside was sweet. The exterior, though, that's what ruined it for me. And I think that a Tesla looks like it kind of looks like a Porsche in a weird way, but it's like a Porsche had to run in with a what do you call it? A Prius. I don't know, and I'm not trying to be harsh. I mean, Elon Musk has created a wonderful company, really cool product, and once I break 300,000 subscribers, I may consider, picking one up just to have as, just a little run around and not have to buy gas kind of vehicle. Hybrid says, Fire Noodle vids are so huge on YouTube. Check it out. What's funny? I haven't even checked it out yet. Because you were chatting, you suggested it during the live show the other day, and I checked out the noodles on Amazon, but I never ordered, and I have ordered them now. I ordered them, right after you sent me that super chat. So, yeah, I mean, it's. I mean, I need to find some other stuff, especially with the uncertainty surrounding the world right now. I don't know when it'll be. And again, I'm not one of these that will trust politicians. Say, oh, okay, everything's safe. I don't trust that. I'm going to exercise. As I indicated previously, Irish Guys Adventure Channel has banned travel until further notice. So, Irish Guys Adventure Channel is not going to allow travel until they deem, travel to be safe. And, because I don't want to expose anybody. I don't want to become exposed to this, and I don't want to risk exposing others to it. It's just one of those things where, just keep your distance and find ways to innovate, like eating Korean 2X noodles, reviewing Teslas, that sort of thing, things that can be done while maintaining an acceptable social distance. So, yeah, it is crazy, man. But I'm excited. So, do those noodles, those Korean 2X noodles, do they have a good flavor? I mean, is it pure heat, or is it a good flavored heat? Or a good flavored spice, I guess I should say. I've got to get my ghost pepper seasoning too, because I want to dribble some of that on some pizza. I think that would be good. Just make some pizza that's just burn your face off. You eat a bite and it's just like, whoa. Yeah, those will be. And I wonder, that is interesting. I wonder why there's an obsession with people eating spicy food. That is, oh wow. Let's see. Hold on one second. I was clicking through on something here. Testing something out. Just a second. I'm not avoiding the live show. I'm very engaged. I've got orders. I'm ordering stuff constantly. Well, not constantly, but oh, Andrea. Oh no. Man, if we can get this super chat past 100, I think there'll be some really cool didgeridoo. I tell you what, if we can get this super chat for this live show past $100, I will break out another instrument. How about that? Oh yes, thank you. Ah, man, taste is amazing. Rips your face off though. Good on you, Andrea. Irish Guy is the best unknown YouTube channel. Greatly appreciated. Hopefully it'll become known soon, because I gotta become known to get those, to break through that 1 million subscriber mark. Philippe says, let's see, check something here. I'm just checking this. I will be right back over to y'all. I'll be right back over ASAP. Let's see what we got. Let's see, going to continue. Having to enter something here real quickly. This will take just a second, y'all. We are going to, let's see. There's this, and I'll tell you all about it here in a second, but there's this piece of equipment for live streaming that is supposed to be, let's see, hold on just a second. I'm having to type in a code here. Ah, bingo. Almost finished here. So there's this piece of equipment. Hold on, I'll finish my thought here in a second. Okay, there we go. Hopefully that'll go through. So there's this piece of equipment that will it's called an ATEM, ATEM, and it's for live streaming. So it's I'm going to drastically improve the live streams here. And what's cool about it is that it is a standalone device. Like right now when I'm live streaming, I've got the camera tethered to my laptop, so my laptop is using some of its processing power to process the live stream. What's cool about the Blackmagic ATEM Mini Pro is that what it'll do, and again, I haven't received it yet, but what it'll do is act as a standalone device. So it'll establish the YouTube Live connection, and then this microphone or whatever other type of microphone I may want to use, I can plug into the ATEM, and then I can plug up to 4 cameras. They wouldn't have to be cameras. I could have a computer device that's playing a video background. This particular device will do chroma keying, also known as green screening. It'll do that within the device. So whereas now I'm using software for the live screening, it's it's a standalone dedicated device. So yeah, that's why I was distracted briefly, because I've been ninja refreshing it, and it finally seems that it's become available. So man, we got people from all over the world here. Man, these super chats are amazing. Philippe says, lucky me, I didn't get the virus yet in New York City. Yeah, man, gotta be safe. And you'll probably know this is a really crazy question, and it's not, I mean, I know you're not a doctor, you're a chef, but as far as possibly catching the virus from eating food, have you heard, are you aware of any like food safety recommendations or anything like that? I mean, when it comes to that, I'm really uneducated. And what I've been doing, the only food items that I've bought that I didn't get, and cook myself, I've bought some fried chicken, some fried fish, fried okra, that kind of stuff. But what I did, as soon as I brought it back to quarantine, I would zap it in the microwave for a few minutes, and it kind of resulted in, in fried foods that were a little bit overcooked, but they were still edible. And I don't know if the act of taking the time to zap it in the microwave may have, cooked the COVID or whatever. I mean, I don't know, but I don't know if. Yeah, you're right, man. Maybe you got it already and you don't know, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about this whole thing, and I don't know if it's. I know it's real because I know people in the medical community that have confirmed it's real. But I also know it's very heavily politically fueled. So, how dangerous is it really? And that's the thing, because people don't know, and even a lot of the doctors don't know. So it's one of those deals, most people that can are erring on the side of caution and just trying to, distance themselves from the possibility of picking it up. I mean, it's not it's not like going to the movie store. Well, we don't have movie rental stores anymore, but it's not like going to pick up a video or a movie and watching it and be like, hey man, I don't like this, I'm going to take it back. It's not like you just pick it up and try it out. If you get it, it could be very bad. So, I mean, I don't know. Who knows? Man, we are rolling to the moon here with these super chats. Got more people tuning in here. Everybody tuning in that just tuned in. This right here is the device that is blown if there's a super chat. And if we break through during this live show, if we break through 100, then I'm going to break something else out to accompany this. Philippe says, depends on which channel we're watching, CNN or Fox News. Yeah, I know, and that's the thing. I mean, media, the media are using this without a doubt. They're using it as a publicity stunt, because the more conflict that the media, or perceived conflict that the media can create, it's driving up their views, which then their views go up. Obviously, that's beneficial for their organization, because if the views increase, then the demand or the value of the cost for advertising should increase, which means they can make more money. So, it's one of those things. It's hard to know who to trust, but even looking at the, I don't know. I mean, there's a few people that I know personally in the medical community that I'm not receiving this through a media outlet or through another person. People that I know that are verifiably part of the medical community and have seen it, and they can tell you the truth, and it's real, and it is real, and some people that I know have witnessed people die. So, and then that brings us to the gray area. Well, were those deaths 100% COVID, or were they, who knows? Anyway, this is a drone show. we can speculate about the COVID. But yeah, Mavic Air 2. It looks like my Mavic Air 2 may not arrive this evening. I was thinking it would, but we're it's not here yet. Well, I say I'm bummed that it's not here yet because I'm ready to unbox it and I'm ready to charge the batteries. But then again, the other thing is it's kind of exciting to have to wait a little bit longer because that thing, I don't think it's going to disappoint. I think the Mavic Air 2 is going to bring, and again, not something radically new like we got when they came out with the original Mavic Pro. I mean, that was new. I mean, you went from a DJI Phantom, which was kind of top heavy when it landed. It was larger and more inconvenient to travel with, to something that was just so small and so lightweight, but just as good. And now you're getting an even better version of something that's already awesome. So yeah, I mean, it is definitely interesting stuff. But I tell you, you know what? Maybe I do, hybrid life, talking about these 2X Korean noodles. Maybe I do a video where, once I get my noodles, because I've got 5 packs coming, maybe I'll do an eat 2X noodles while flying a drone and maintaining line of sight. Can you imagine flying a drone and eating these 2X Korean noodles? Philippe says, we will come back tomorrow night, Ed, for your first review for the Mavic Air 2. Man, that is awesome. That's one thing about this, this live streaming stuff. It's, and I don't necessarily want to develop a formal schedule because then it could kind of feel like a burden, which it's not. But if I can just kind of get into a casual routine of doing these live shows, every evening, I think it's I know it is cool, and that's my goal, is to just make this, because right now, I'm bringing up my software, my Wirecast, I'm doing the chroma keying, the green screening. I've got a lot of things going on with this, but once I receive that ATEM Mini Pro, it's basically just going to be a turnkey solution. I mean, I'll walk into the studio, I will, from my laptop, I'll start the YouTube live show and get the security code for that particular live show. Type that security code into the ATEM Mini, and then boom, I've got a device on the network that is handling the YouTube live connection. And then at that point in time, basically all my laptop is an interface for me to be able to live chat with y'all. And I'm not having to use my laptop's resources to do the streaming and the live chroma keying. So, that's going to be cool. And I mean, more importantly, it's just another gadget to tinker with. And that's one of the things I've enjoyed most so far about the YouTube journey, is just finding things that that I probably wouldn't have found unless I was tinkering with this. Because it's kind of like, okay, well, I can do this, but what can do it better? Well, how can I do that on a budget? It's kind of like this right here. You're seeing this video. This video quality is probably the best video quality that you've seen from any of my live streams, and that's because I'm using a mirrorless camera right now. And in the past, I was using a very nice webcam But whenever you're using a smaller sensor camera, I mean, even the best smaller sensor cameras, they're not going to compete with a full frame mirrorless camera with a premium glass, with a premium lens. So, you know, there's all these subtle things that make a difference, and convenience is a huge thing, because, you know, you don't, as a YouTube content creator, you don't want anything that could function as a deterrent. You know, something that's going to be like, well, you know, I would host that live show. However, to do that, I've got to do this, this, and that. I've got to move this. I got to move that. No, that's the thing about the ATEM Mini. The ATEM Mini will have a home in my studio, and it'll be on my desk over there, and it'll be wired into the network. And that'll be the home of the ATEM Mini. So if I want to go live, I'll just, okay, boom, put my laptop here, put my laptop wherever, you know, and just start live streaming, and, you know, and chatting with y'all, and blowing on the didgeridoo when I get the super chats. But yeah, I mean, it's, you know, not just the live streaming component, but YouTube in general. I mean, you'll discover, if you become interested in YouTube and start creating content and, you know, growing your own channels, you'll discover that, you know, there's a lot of opportunities to explore different subject matter. You know, subject matter that you may not have had any interest in the past. And the biggest thing that it's brought me to is, and this is just so far, you know, YouTube has introduced me to professional video, professional audio, and beyond amateurish photography. So, you know, what I've learned as a byproduct of becoming heavily involved with YouTube is, you know, looking back at that first travel video, you know, the one that got me invited to the YouTube Partner Program, and I'll link it again right now for everyone. Let's see. But this video, I mean, it's pathetic. I mean, and part of it's because the camera was a cheap camera, and not only was it a cheap camera, but I filmed this back in 2010. So the camera technology wasn't where it is today, obviously. But, you know, it just goes to show that this particular video, the one I just linked, that attracted the, you know, Google's attention, and they said, hey man, do you want to become a YouTube partner? And I said, you know, usually I would just say, hey, this is just spam, you know, and ignore it. But since it was Google, I'm like, this is a legitimate opportunity. And sure enough, you know, that's what led to figuring out, well, you know, what else can I film? What's the gear that I need? You know, affordable gear. What's the gear that I need to take this to the next level? I mean, I was using a $100-ish waterproof point and shoot camera. I mean, this was not even a semi-serious camera, but it just goes to show it's not necessarily, you know, if you're looking at the game of golf, for example, it's not the golf clubs, it's the skill. So, you know, you could take an average golfer, give them the best pair of golf clubs, and they're still going to be horrible. But if you, and you know, likewise, you could get a very skilled golfer, give them a cheap set of clubs, and they could still be really good. Just like with cameras. I mean, you know, you can, even with a basic camera, even with a smartphone nowadays, I mean, smartphones, even though they're, you know, smaller sensors and this, that, and the other, smartphones can create impressive videos, you know, even 4K videos today, which is incredible. You probably never would have thought that a few years ago. But that's the fun part, though, is just figuring out, you know, what can be done to further improve the quality. And, you know, a lot of people look at that, oh man, that's boring. But I don't look at it as boring, because I look at it as, you know, that cruise ship video with that $100-ish camera led to discovering an opportunity that then enabled me to become an early adopter of drones and establish a name within the space. You know, Epic Drone Show. I mean, I am Epic Drone Show. And, you know, that's something I never would have thought of when I was on that cruise back in 2010. I never would have thought that, oh, I'm going to become, you know, a vlogger on YouTube that hosts live shows and takes drones out in the field and, you know, and prances around and tries to break them. You know, you never would have thought. So that was an unexpected opportunity. And it's just one of those things. I'm adjusting. I tell you, I man, I love Google Nest. I'm using these thermostats, and I added a separate temperature sensor, and it's good during the day because different parts of this place are different temperatures. I've got about a 5-degree difference between this room and another room. So I switched in the evenings, I switch my Google Nest to the external temperature sensor, and it keeps everything just like I like it. Super cool. I've saved so much money using Nest because my utility bills have really gone down. Hybrid says, I just read your comment from the ghost pepper vid. Haha, why didn't you put the salsa in a bowl? Oh, the salsa. Okay, the pico de gallo. Pico de gallo. Why did I not put the pico de gallo in a bowl? Well, actually, I didn't because that stuff, I had done a curbside pickup at a popular store. And this was a failure on my behalf because I'm trying to conserve my antiseptic or disinfecting wipes. So I didn't thoroughly wipe it down. Although I hadn't touched it in a few days, how long might that... Oh, we broke 100. We broke 100. I got to get something. Hold on. I stand to my word. I stand by my word here. Hold on just a second. I'll be right back. Be right back. We broke 100. I am coming right back. Just got to find it here. It is over here. Aha! I have found it. Like I said, anytime, so there's a few things. If there's a super chat, you're going to hear this. And since we broke $100 during this live show, we've got this special edition cowhide drum. So, the question is, can one person hold a didgeridoo and a cowhide drum at the same time and multitask? Hold on. There's got to be a way to do this. The acoustics in here are good though, because I added let's see if I can beat the drum. See if I had this attached to me somehow. Let's see what we can do here. So that's the sign we broke through 100. Now, I'm trying to think of something creative. I don't even want to set the stage for breaking 150. I don't know what I would do. Actually, I do know. Not trying to encourage that though. I mean, 100 is all. I mean, that is actually exceptional. I mean, we've hit $100 on this live stream. Just for that, I'm gonna. Ooh, that was extra long-winded there. So I guess these super chats gave me some magical powers here. So we are. It's definitely a different sound, that's for sure. Let's see here. Had this out on the water one day, and I wasn't the captain that day, but I was partaking in some Natty Lights. If you haven't heard of Natty Light, it's a very sophisticated beverage. But I had this out there over the water, and that thing on the water, you know, people are all the way across the lake can hear it. You're like, man, what is that thing? What is that thing? But what this thing is what sounds when there's super chats. Hybrid says, remember Andrea and Hybrid Life when you're a big YouTuber. Without a doubt, man. I'm going to remember y'all. I'm going to remember Philippe. I'm going to remember, there's tons of people. I mean, literally there's thousands of people. So I don't want to alienate anyone. But, I mean, right now, I mean, this is super. I will say this is the first live show where I've broken through $100 in super chats. I mean, that is crazy. So I mean, it's like now, you know, there's an old saying, and they often say that money is the best motivator, and I think that's very true. I mean, you know, I'm not all about money, but you know, anything that where it's a hobby or a, you know, professional pursuit or whatever, anything that's something that someone does, there should be a reward and an incentive to continue to grow that journey. And I mean, this is just an opportunity to, you know, just like those Korean noodles that are coming. It's an opportunity to review that. You know, the ATEM Mini Pro, to upgrade the live streams. You know, to have, you know, ultimately where I want to go with this is get to the multicam, multiple cameras, so that we can have in the studio, this right here is a green screen set, but have a, you know, have an isolated unboxing and review area. And just really class it up. I mean, you know, there's no reason that even an independent YouTube channel can't continue to improve, you know, audio quality, video quality, lighting. Lighting is something I need to work on. I've got, these lights are pretty good, but they're not, you know, they're not to the level where I think they should be at this point. Brad says, might end up ordering the Mavic Air 2. Hey, man, no pressure. But if you do, epicdroneshow.com, buy a drone. And again, no pressure, because honestly, mine should arrive, if not tonight. And I hear a large truck. Let me check my security cameras. If it doesn't arrive tonight, unless it's hit by the pandemic somehow, it should arrive tomorrow for sure. So if you're waiting on a review, an honest field test before you decide to pull that trigger, you know, I'm going to be thoroughly testing the drone, and anything in particular that you would like to see me field test, I'll add it to my cut sheet. And Brad says, Andrea says, yes, all your hard work. Thank you. Brad says, what are you hopeful and realistic for in the Mavic 3 Pro? So, to keep it honest, and again, this is all, you know, basing these comments upon what I've seen on paper. I haven't received mine or field tested my Mavic Air 2 yet. But I expect better battery life. I expect a slightly smaller form factor than the Mavic 2 Pro. Ultimately, the biggest thing on my wish list, and this is realistic, is that I expect the autofocus performance of the Mavic Air 2 to greatly exceed the autofocus performance of the Mavic 2 Pro. And you know, that's, especially with the earliest Mavic 2 Pro firmwares, achieving acceptable autofocus was a challenge. And during the initial firmware versions for Mavic 2 Pro, I decided to stick to manual focus, which worked great. However, you know, when you're using a focus to infinity, there are certain elements that will not be in peak focus. So there's advantages to a quality autofocus system, and you know, and that's something that I hope the Mavic Air 2 brings to the table, and I think that's a realistic expectation to have, that the Mavic Air 2 will have better autofocus on the camera. And I also hope that the low light performance, even though it doesn't have a 1-inch sensor, I hope that the low light performance is acceptable. And the other thing, and several of y'all have asked, hey man, test those still photos, especially during low light conditions. I want to see how good or how poor the still photo quality is from the Mavic Air 2. That's a big action item on my Mavic Air 2 video to-do list. So it's going to be exciting. And I mean, I'm not, and again, y'all have been here for a while. You know that I'm not here to pump something up and say it's the best thing just for the sake of saying it's the best thing. My realistic expectations are that it could become the best drone on the market today, except it doesn't have a 1-inch sensor, so the edge to the Mavic 2 Pro's camera in low light may still exist. And the image quality though, and again, to be field tested, but I remain bullish that the image quality of Mavic Air 2, especially during daytime conditions, maybe it can even exceed the quality of the Mavic 2 Pro's camera. Who knows? But it's going to be an interesting thing. Brad says, you follow Billy Kyle at all on YouTube. I suggest checking him out. I will do that. Honestly, I don't. It's weird. I don't watch a lot of YouTube videos, and I think part of that's because, just so many things I do on a daily basis. It's like, when I do have some time, then I'm creating YouTube videos, and I'm not. It's like my time is creating YouTube videos or hosting live events. I'm not really doing. I need to do that. I need to watch some other videos. I really do. I've been watching, and I've watched about everything on, Netflix and Amazon. But I watched. There was a good show on Amazon. It's called 000. And then I watched all of the Narcos Mexico, the original Narcos. I watched a show called Fauda, or Fauda, which was really good. Watched Outer Banks and Ozarks. Oh man, Ozarks was awesome. So yeah, this is super duper cool. So we've got some things to look forward to, and again, this is awesome. The super chats on this during this live show were outstanding. I mean, that is more than awesome. So I appreciate that. And just for that, I'm going to blow this thing one more time here. So there we go. We got the Dji and we got the cowhide drum. So hope to see y'all again soon. And hopefully when I see y'all again soon, I will have, and I'm so disappointed it didn't arrive this evening. But again, I know deliveries have been prioritized and I'm perfectly cool with that. So we will thoroughly field test the Mavic Air 2 here on the Irish Guys Adventure channel very soon. Again, if you haven't ordered a Mavic Air 2, maybe you're on the fence, maybe you're ready to pull the trigger, or maybe you're looking for another drone, maybe just a like a Mavic Mini or a Mavic 2. You can check out epicdroneshow.com. Go there, click Buy a Drone, and it'll take you to all the drones and all the accessories. So greatly appreciate y'all's support. Again, super chats are amazing. You can also support Irish Guys Adventure channel simply by subscribing and ringing that bell icon to be notified whenever I post another video. And if you want to do so, again, all of this is optional, but you can expand this video's description and then click the link there, and you can find my link to Patreon, patreon.com/IrixGuy. That's a great opportunity for supporting YouTubers like Irix Guy on Irish Guys Adventure channel, and it's deeply appreciated. So those Korean spicy noodles, those 2X Korean spicy noodles, hope to receive those soon. That's going to be an interesting adventure, because I can handle a little bit of spice. But I tell you, once I get, into the ghost pepper, and, I can't say that I'm going to be too capable of going beyond ghost pepper. So it's going to be interesting to see how those might burn my face off. But with that being said, I'm always looking for a challenge, and appreciate y'all's viewership. And if you haven't subscribed, again, be sure to do so, youtube.com. /IRIX This live show and all of my live shows, Epic Drone Show and IRIX Guy's live shows, I'll feature them on irixguy.com, or you can just go directly to epicdroneshow.com to find this and all the other previously recorded live shows. So thanks for your viewership. Y'all be safe out there, because, you know, washing your hands isn't necessarily all you need to do. I mean, you know, wash your hands, you know, be safe and respect others, because it's not necessarily yourself that's at risk. You know, other people, older people, and people with, you know, pre-existing health conditions may be at greater risk. So, you know, keep others in mind during this time of uncertainty, and keep it tuned to IRIX Guy's Adventure Channel, because we're gonna stay away, and we're gonna make the best. We're gonna make this the most exciting quarantine ever when that Mavic Air 2 arrives. So thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day. And thanks again for the super chats. And just one more time, I'm gonna blow on this thing just for the super chats. Hey y'all, IRIX Guy here. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe, like, and share. It's viewers like you that enable my channel to continue to grow. Thank you.